Hello, everybody, and welcome back to another episode of Oxygen Not Included. In the previous episode, we landed here on Irigaline, the water planet in our asteroid, star cluster. And we now today are going to start off this episode by going down here into these depths, and we're going to mine all of this graphite out. This graphite, as mentioned last episode, is the material that produces um, fullerene, and then fullerene produces supercoolant. So once we produce the supercoolant, then we can do pretty much whatever we want with super cold temperatures back at the base. We can also draw a lot of heat out of things really easily since supercoolant has great, basically everything. Conductivity, specific heat capacity, all of it. It can be run through a thermal tuner because it's a liquid. So we really want to get that. And we also need to refuel our rocket. So we're going to build what is it called? We're going to build a bottle drainer, and we're going to pump our petroleum back into the rocket, and we're also going to get close enough to the oxidizer tank with some ladders, and we're going to refuel the oxalite. It has gone a lot smoother than the last planet. Neither of our dupes are currently dying, so that's always a good thing. And what we'll do with the graphite to get it in here is we'll just sweep it all, and then we'll set this to sweep only, basically all standard, and we'll just sweep everything, dump it right in here, and we will be good. So I'm going to go and set up some commands. But right now, we're not going to touch any of the water or geysers on this map. We might eventually when we need more water, but for right now, I think we're just going to leave them alone. So let me get down here, maybe I don't know if I'm going to do anything about the pressure. Obviously, it's very high pressure. I think I'm just going to dig down into here and ignore the fact that the water might leak out. Like, they can swim, and then I don't really care. So, let's just dig. Let's get in here. Let's start ripping this planet apart. Honestly, now that I'm looking at it as well, there's a lot of fossil and lime and stuff in here, too. I think maybe getting that as well would be quite nice, because we're not low on fossil or lime at base, but, you know, what does it hurt to get a little bit more of it? We always are producing more lime and stuff over here. Let me see how much. When we look at lime, let's see how much do we have. Okay, we have a lot of lime. We have 113 tons of lime. What about fossil? Where are we at with fossil? 0. Most likely because I crushed it all immediately. Fossil turns into lime, obviously. So we're going to get that going. We're going to start ripping this planet apart, and we're going to ignore our main planet. So hopefully they can sustain themselves for a little while. I am actually still doing a few things back at the main base. So right here, I'm setting up the auto dirt delivery system for the sleet wheat and the auto food extraction of the sleet wheat grains, and we're shipping them back to the base, just so the dupes have to do quite a bit less. Right here, yeah, we have all the dirt going in, and then we just ship it over, and it helps a lot because we don't want dupes going in here too frequently, which obviously they do to deliver dirt. So the less times the dupes open this door, the more efficient our cooling loop will be. Not that the little bit of them going in and out really causes too much, like, extra burden on our cooling loop. It's just, it'd be better to reduce the amount so they only have to go in here to harvest every, what? So it would grow really slow. 18 cycles, so that would be great. What's wrong with you? Okay, nothing. Suspicious. I have a feeling pressure in here is, yeah. There's a few tiles of really high pressure in here, and I can imagine that's what the problem there was for a second. I do want to put in as well into this room the bristleberry collection, so we'll put in the auto sweeper there and there, why not? And we'll just do a little bit of a conveyor loader right here. And we will also just ship this, and then we have to make sure to put it onto the correct line. So things are a little bit messy here, but it's okay. So this will go like this and onto this conveyor rail. And that rail hooks up back up with this one, and you can see we have something. What was that, meal lice? Yeah, meal lice currently heading up this one. All of this just connects right back to our main food freezer, which is also doing fine still. Both of these are plenty cold enough at all times. I run the loop really cold because I dislike. I don't want to worry about food randomly spoiling or going off. All right. And over on Irreguline, let's check. Okay, they finished this ladder down here. So we're gonna strip mine this entire planet. And we'll get these artifacts while we're here. So let's strip mine. I cannot overstate how useful it is to have our dupes be able to swim. Look at this. It's just, I'm just going to go layer by layer, just all the way down. And then since we have all this water, that's just going to fall right down on top of them. What's it hurt? Why not? We'll just count for them swimming everywhere. Since, I mean, that's what they're going to be doing. We might lower the water level on this planet by, like, what, 1 tile? Also, all of this water is way higher pressure. The game actually does like do water pressure to a small degree, which is interesting. So like down here, it is 1,400 kgs of water, whereas normally way up at the top, you can see it's only around 1,000, which is what it normally is. So this planet has a lot, and you can see it immediately is breaking in through like here. This is graphite, which actually graphite is not hard. Fullerene is hard. Yeah. But anyways, it's breaking through this little bit of graphite too. So we're going to continue mining this place out, just slowly getting rid of all the graphite. Okay, I've dug out all this area here. So now I think, well, you can see we've got, where are you? Oh yeah, last little bit there. Now it's just sweeping it all back up. Now, there was an unforeseen thing that I kind of forgot about. So, Atmos suits have durability. You can see this one wore out. So, this pay can't go out at the same time Travaldo is, or vice versa. Did the gas pump? What happened? Oh, I forgot to build a external gas pump while they were on the surface. Let me fix that real quick. This should be super quick to finish. So Travaldo's the only one who can go out, and we're focusing on bringing back just the graphite for now. Because eventually we'll probably have to come back, but you can see this one's down to 19%. And we really... Oh, yeah, okay. We really want to... Like, we want to maximize what we can bring back this time. Also, you can see the water level has dropped significantly. I mean, which was to be expected since we dug out this much, which is 17 tiles. So, now we're just here waiting for them to finish. Oh, well, they're building the output port for the CO2. But pretty soon they'll pick up a lot more graphite. Hopefully, the Atmos suit can hold on for a little bit longer. And then we will, eventually we'll come back here and truly pick up all the rest of this. Probably mine out this bottom area. Why not? And maybe tap into water while we're actually back. But for right now, we're just going to bring back our graphite so we can get super coolant. Yep, in and out. Okay. Time for a lot of waiting. Alright, both suits are worn out. I wish I had brought more, but it's alright. Let's just head on home. We have in here, let's see. We have both artifacts, and we have 2,800 kgs of graphite. That's pretty good. I think there's 18 tons on the planet. There are... I know there's more than 0 kg. I'm guessing it's because no dupe can access. Anyways, so... let's just head on home. We refueled the rocket and everything, so let's go. Although, actually, wait a minute. Yeah, I was going to say I could let them out and they could go without an Atmos suit, but first of all, it's pretty hot on this planet. Second of all, they're going to be able to go down to, like, they probably could get down here and then start sweeping some stuff up, but they are going to have to come back up super fast to get oxygen. I think it's just not worth it, so we should just head home. Let's, select destination. You can see we have enough fuel, and let's summon the crew. It's fueled. It's got limited oxidizer. Yeah, it's okay. It's not maxed out on either. Well, oh, there's going to be some steel left over. It's okay. Let's just head on home. Bye-bye, Irigaline. We will be back. That's for sure. When I need more super coolant, we'll be back. And to space we go. Now, it's gonna be a little annoying when they get back because they don't have atmo suits, so they might scald themselves a little bit on the rocket exhaust. For the next mission, we will make sure that we give them extra atmo suits to wear. And now, what we need to do is we need to come down here and figure out some place where I can build the molecular forge. So this thing is 5 tiles tall. It's unfortunate it doesn't fit with the standard four tall sizes that I usually make. So, and then you can see we're pretty compact over here. There might be right here. I think I could probably remove these tiles and put it in right there. Yeah, I think that's what I'm gonna do. And we'll put some ladders or something across the top here. And let's see, power-wise, in general, power-wise, we use so much power. You can see potential load of 62 kilowatts is a little bit scary. I think pretty soon here I'm going to have to upgrade to the entire grid to heavy watt conductive, which it's going to be expensive, but I think it'll be worth it in the end. Just we kind of need it here at this point. And other than that, I think some of these wires inside of the base, I'm going to upgrade to the insulated conductive to get the max 4 kilowatts. If we're running more than, like, most of the time we don't run more than 3 kilowatts out on one grid. It's pretty rare that we would overload an insulated conductive wire. I think the closest would be this section right here. You can see we're running at, like, 2 to 3. Anyways, I'm going to remove these tiles, and we're going to put in the molecular forge and prepare for our duplicants to get back. So you can see this is the molecular forge, and this is how you produce fullerene. Find graphite, sulfur, and aluminum in the molecular forge, and that produces your fullerene. And then the fullerene you combine with, I can't remember, but you combine the fullerene with something else to produce supercoolant, which, let's see. Find fullerene, gold, and petroleum, and you produce supercoolant. So the petroleum is right next door. The gold is also being produced right one level up, basically, because this is where our guild molts are. There are tons of them that always are in need of being crushed. Right here. Yeah, we have gold for a long time. We just need people to get on it. I think there's just a lot that needs to be done. Or really, I should have a second rock crusher. One that makes lime, and then one that makes, like, that crushes the guild molts and the pin pokey, since that's where we get our diamond from as well. There's a lot of orders that are constantly in this rock crusher that we need to get done. Also, you can feel how much laggier the game gets with the when you click on this building and have it open as compared to not. That's funny. So, our brave astronauts will be back here soon, and I think I will be sending them back pretty quick to go and grab the rest of that graphite while we start making our first bits of supercoolant. There's a lot of stuff I kind of want to do with that supercoolant, so we will think about. I mean, there's obviously the most obvious one right here, but we will consider and think about what we want to do. They're home, and just a little bit of scalding running through the rocket exhaust fumes, but they're back in the base. I sent them straight back in. We are using 30 kilowatts of power right now. Are we overloading the heavy watt? No. This must be like a somewhere is overloaded. This one is overloaded. Anyways, sorry. Distractions. We need to fix the power grid a little bit. So up here, we're just gonna let them grab. They'll take everything out of here slowly but surely. And I set up a storage bin. So, oh yeah, they're taking the atmo suits. I set up a storage bin down in the industrial block here for our graphite, which I'm gonna make this a little bit higher. Yeah, that should be fine. Well, we're also going to start making fullerene. So we have quite a bit, and we're just going to do all. forever. There isn't, I don't think, any other purpose to graphite besides just using it solely to make fullerene. I mean, here's graphite. It literally, wait, that's granite. This is graphite. It just makes fullerene. You could make refined carbon if you overheated it. Let's not do that. That's a waste. And I mean, that's it. You could build ladders out of graphite. Oh my god, that's so wasteful. Anyways, like I said, we're just gonna make some fullerene. I want someone to come by and actually get on this. Insufficient resources. I know for a fact we don't have insufficient graphite. Don't even try to mess with me. Someone's probably carrying it. Or dropped it somewhere. Or they can't get it. Yeah, they can't get out of the base because their atmosuit docks are all being used. All the atmosuits are being used in the entire base. Something like that. Yeah, that was it. Let me check this real quick. I'll just take the seed. Okay. There we go. Our first bit of fullerene. Very nice, Stinky. Look at that. And all right. Who is starving? Doesn't even matter. Where did our fullerene go? There it is. Dropped on the ground. But we have 100 kgs of fullerene. Let's start making super coolant. I think that's the only thing fullerene is good for as well, is super coolant. Yeah. Let's see. So, yeah, you could crush it back into graphite and lose your graphite. Actually, no, you wouldn't even lose your graphite. I don't know why. That's so weird. Anyways, let's put down an emulsifier and start producing some of this. We might have to get our dupes to do some rock crushing a little bit more to produce some gold. Oh, they're making gold. A lot of the gold goes into the oxalite refiner. Why does that have no power? Strange. I don't like that. This does use a ton of power, if I remember correctly. Yeah, 2 kilowatts almost. But we should be doing fine. Let me put down an emulsifier. I don't know where I'm going to put it down. The base is pretty dense. Maybe right here. It fit in. That's it. That's perfect spacing for the emulsifier. Yeah, I'll put it in right here. And it does not need to be steel. And it does not need to be made out of diamond either. That's ridiculous. Even though diamond's probably cheaper than glass. I was about to say diamond's cheaper than glass, but we have so much sand as well, it's not even a problem. Who is starving? Truly. Well and truly, who is starving? Okay. Anyways, let me get this emulsifier ready and we can start and hook it up to get some super coolant. Okay, the emulsifier is hooked up. We just brought petroleum down from literally right above, because that's where we produce our petroleum. And I moved the artifact analysis station since I want to have a liquid reservoir. And super coolant, we're also just going to make forever. Since fullerene is only used in super coolant, we might as well make some and make a lot of it. And fullerene is still being made over here. It just takes a little bit of time for them to get graphite. And oh, they did. There's just a lot of stuff for my dupes to do. Let's put it that way. That's the nice way to put it. They have a lot of different tasks. So let's see. Someone's on making super coolant. Our first little bit of super coolant. Also, there is a lot of CO2 in the background. That is something I'm going to have to deal with pretty soon here, I think. Our natural gas generators produce tons and tons of CO2. And so the entire map has been slowly getting more and more and more pressurized with, like, just different gases. At least this part of it. It might be kind of cut off from the other parts. CO2 does go all the way over to here, and then, yeah, it's just really dense everywhere, pretty much. So we do need to deal with that at some point, but for right now, we're not going to worry too much about it. Oh, look, we have 100 kgs of super coolant in here. So here is what's so good about super coolant. You can see it has a specific heat capacity of 8.44 and a thermal conductivity of 9.46. So let's compare that to just base water real quick, which is basically what we've been using for coolant because water is pretty good, honestly, all things considered. But you can just see specific heat capacity of 4.179, which is really good for specific heat capacities as they go. But the thermal conductivity is so much worse than supercoolant. It's not even funny. Um, and then you can see the temperature ranges. Obviously, water is 0 to 100. Supercoolant negative 271, which is basically absolute zero, and evaporation point of 436. So it's well above most applications that we would be using. So it's just a really, really, really useful material, and it opens up a lot of possibilities for us. And if you're curious about why the specific heat capacity being high matters for cooling loops, it's because when you run a liquid through a thermal aqua tuner, the liquid inside is brought down by a flat 14 degrees always, and that's for every liquid. And so if something holds more temperature per degree, like supercoolant does, because that's what specific heat capacity is, you can get a lot more chill out of the same amount of degree difference. So basically, you're getting more cooling factor for wow, this is cooling factor, but you're getting more cooling because of the liquid that you're using. So that's why supercoolant is so useful. And I mean, I can start building some crazy things. Like I might build like I don't know. There's a lot of different plans of things that I want to build next, and mainly I could cool this water now down from the 95-degree output water. That might be a little bit of a like useless endeavor because it doesn't matter that the water is hot in some cases, but just stuff like that. Mainly, I think what is coming up next, we're going to send that rocket back to get more graphite so we can make even more supercoolant. But I think we're going to focus on starting to freeze the core. So you can see up here our desalination plant, the ends of the areas, which I could put in some better like loops to draw this heat out, and I think I will. So we have only, at the very ends, it's 300 degrees. So we only have about 200 degrees more before water stops boiling. And that's not a lot, really, in here. Over at the other end, it's even colder. So I probably will put in a little loop of, like, diamond on a conveyor rail through here. But to draw out the last little bit. But really, we want to start using the core. So it's super hot, and there's a lot of material down here, and we will slowly freeze this magma. So yeah, I think that this is where I'm going to end the episode, though, for today. We have supercoolant. We have our first space material done. The next thing we probably would want to get is actually going back to Swelterra and getting niobium. And with that, as you can see in the molecular forge, you can make thermium. And thermium gives you a plus 900 over heat temperature. So with combining thermium and supercoolant, you can make some really, really high temperature systems that won't melt, won't break, and can run a lot of stuff off of them. So I think that'll be a plan for the future here coming up pretty soon. But otherwise, I want to say thanks everybody for watching, and I'll see you all in the next one.